Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you might just be the jarring wake-up call you've been waiting for. Honestly, your financial operating system, it's fundamentally broken. You wake up every single morning, pour that exact same cup of coffee, commute to a job you probably kind of resent, pay your bills, and then you just reset to do it all over again. It feels like life, right? But it's actually just a set of invisible scripts running in the background. So, welcome to this explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here because today we're going to pop the hood on your own mind and completely rewrite that code.
So, are you stuck in an infinite loop? Really ask yourself this. When you're caught up in that daily grind, doing exactly what society tells us to do, it feels like you're moving forward. Picture sitting in rush hour traffic on a random Tuesday, just staring at the taillights ahead of you. You get the paycheck, you pay the rent, you buy the groceries. It creates this illusion of progress, right? But guys, it's actually a mechanical trap. You aren't moving forward, you're just keeping the machine running.
Get up, work, pay bills. It's so completely normalized that we don't even question it anymore. We've all heard the standard cultural advice: go to school, get good grades, find a safe, secure job with solid benefits, and just stay there for 40 years. Well, today, we're initiating a brutal teardown of that exact advice. We are not here for fluffy, positive thinking. We're here to debug the human mind. We're going to strip away those emotional algorithms installed by a society that is, quite frankly, perfectly designed to manufacture obedient employees rather than wealthy, independent individuals.
Section 1. The Infinite Loop. All right, to rewrite our programming, we first need to expose the underlying emotional drivers that are actually controlling your wallet. It's kind of fascinating how human motivation breaks down into this cold, predictable algorithm. We love to tell ourselves we go to work because of passion, or maybe, the great company culture. But if we strip away the corporate jargon, the baseline motivator is usually just fear. The fear of not paying bills, the dread of falling behind, that fear pushes you right out the door. You execute the next step, you work, and eventually, boom, you get the paycheck. But the very second that money hits your account, greed or desire takes over. Suddenly you want the nicer car, the better phone, that weekend vacation to decompress from the job you resent. So you spend, the money disappears, the fear returns, and the entire cycle just resets. This relentless sequence is exactly what we call the rat race. It's treating a job as a long-term solution, when in reality, it's nothing more than a short-term patch to a long-term problem. Right now, for most people, money is entirely in control of their emotions and, frankly, their choices. But here's the kicker. You cannot escape a trap until you first acknowledge that you're actually caught in one. Section 2. The Fatal Logic Error. This brings us to the single most dangerous lie that people tell themselves every single day. The absolute conviction that a pay raise will automatically save them. But hey, the math does not lie. Think about this scenario. Pre-raise, your net financial gain is zero because your base expenses eat right through your base income. Then you finally get that promotion. Awesome, right? But post-raise, surprisingly, your net gain is still zero. Why? Because as your income level goes up, your expense level tends to rise perfectly parallel to it. This is classic lifestyle creep. You get a raise, you suddenly qualify for a bigger mortgage, you lease a nicer car. More money seldom solves money problems because an increase in cash almost always results in a mirrored increase in spending.
So, the absolutely crucial point comes down to this core philosophy. Intelligence solves problems, not money. We see this play out in the real world constantly. Think about the well-known statistics regarding lottery winners. A massive percentage of people who win millions of dollars suddenly find themselves completely bankrupt just a few years later. Why does that happen? Because handing someone a windfall of cash only accentuates the broken cash flow pattern that's already running in their head. You simply cannot buy your way out of financial ignorance.
Section 3. Rewriting the code. Okay, we've diagnosed the bug. Now it's time to actually fix it. To break out of this infinite loop, you must force a hard reset and completely change your cognitive syntax. There's a massive difference between the phrase, "I can't afford it," and the question, "How can I afford it?" Automatically stating that you can't afford something is a symptom of pure mental laziness. The moment those words leave your mouth, your brain shuts down like a flipped switch. It just lets you off the hook. But the alternative, "How can I afford it?" well, that changes everything. When you flip a statement into a question, you force your brain to boot up. You demand that it executes problem-solving protocols and starts hunting for creative possibilities.
And this syntax shift really matters because your brain is arguably the most powerful computer in the world. But, just like a physical muscle, if it isn't actively exercised by being forced to answer the question how, it's going to atrophy. It's a simple use it or lose it scenario. Failing to exercise this internal computer will cause your financial standing to wither right alongside your problem-solving abilities.
Section 4.
The Primary Directive.
There is a core operating principle that permanently separates the financial elite from the masses. It's a fundamental divide in how the world is viewed. The poor and middle class work for money. That's exactly what we are all systematically taught to do. Schools often function like factories, built to manufacture obedient employees who will happily trade their finite time for dollars. The wealthy, however, abandon that concept completely. They do not work for money. They have money work for them.
So what you should really take away from this is a vital command. You must shift your focus from earning a paycheck to acquiring systems and assets. You have to start seeing money for what it largely is, an illusion. It's almost like a carrot dangled in front of a donkey just to make it pull the cart faster. The secret here is to stop chasing the carrot. Instead, focus your time and energy on acquiring systems, real, tangible assets, and business concepts that generate cash 24 hours a day, literally even while you're fast asleep.
Section 5. Deployment. Theory is entirely useless without execution. So here's how you start refactoring your mindset today with a rigid action plan. First, audit your emotions. Tomorrow morning, before you walk out the door, just pause. Ask yourself honestly, am I doing this out of genuine passion or just out of the fear of not paying my bills? Second, delete the fatal syntax. You must completely ban the phrase, "I can't afford it," from your vocabulary. When you see something you want, make your brain do the heavy lifting by asking, how? And third, define the trap. Look back at your last pay raise. Did your expenses immediately rise to match it? Did you instantly upgrade your apartment or your car? You need to identify exactly where your desire for comfort is keeping you tethered to the rat race. Which leaves us with this final, absolutely vital question. Are you ready to deploy the core algorithm? I really want you to sit with this thought. The main cause of financial struggle isn't usually the economy and it isn't the government. It is largely self-inflicted by fear and ignorance. Knowing how your mind breaks is just the first step. In part 2 of this explainer, we're going to dive into the raw math. We'll redefine what an asset actually is, we're going to burn down the widely accepted myth that your house is an investment, and we'll find exactly where your cash is bleeding out. Until then, audit your mindset, ask how, and I'll see you in the next one.